Hey friends, today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool cut up art. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is take our blank piece of paper and fill the whole thing with color. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can do lines, shapes, any kind of design, but don't do something too realistic because remember, this is cut up art. So I'm just going to start with some lines and just make a mark and see where it takes me. All right, so there you have it. I have made this really cool design. I had a lot of fun making it. I didn't really think too hard about what I was creating. Now comes the really fun part. This is called cut up art. So the next bit we're gonna do is cut up our art. I have some fancy scissors. If you'd like to use fancy scissors, you may, or you can use regular scissors. What I'm gonna do is just carefully cut my paper into strips. If you're using the fancy scissors, really go slow and take your time. And try to make your strips about 1 inch wide. Doesn't need to be perfect, you just don't want them to be too skinny or else it's gonna be really hard to work with. So I'm just gonna carefully cut my strips. And notice, as I'm cutting, I'm keeping them lined up. Here they are, they're lined up so that when it's time to glue them down, everything's still in order. You wanna almost kind of think of it like a puzzle. Let me go ahead, cut the rest of them out. All right, so here's all of my strips. So you can kind of space them apart. There's a little bit of room. When I put them all together, there's my picture. Now, I'm gonna carefully glue this onto a piece of construction paper. So I'm gonna start with the last one, move it over here, and glue it down. You can use whatever glue you have available. I'm using a glue stick today. And as I glue, I'm gonna make sure I go around the edges. So I'm gonna kind of line this up with the edge. Not too close in because I don't want to run out of room. So I'm going to try and keep it close to the edge of my paper. You might even want to kind of line them all up first. I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. That way you know you have enough room. Because you don't want to get to the end and feel, there's no room for my papers. See, I'm cutting it pretty close. I'm going to line these up. And I like how that looks, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue it down. And as I'm gluing, you might notice that my papers are really cramped. When you guys do this, I'm gonna make sure to give you a bigger piece of construction paper so you don't have the same problem that I'm having right now. Okay, so I've got all my strips glued down. The last thing I'm gonna do is take my paper, turn it over, and really massage the back. So I'm gonna rub every little bit of my paper. I'm not pounding on the table. I'm just gently rubbing the back so that all of my strips stick. And that is it, my cut up art. Now it's your turn. Have fun, amazing artists.